Sorry guys, this is Jesse, back again. We kind of have an issue at the end of the last video, but where I was cut off was where I was talking about copying and pasting the ID, right, from here to here. I've already done it. I was going to say that it's very important to make sure that this is always copy pasted. If it's not copy pasted, we could run into issues, a lot of issues with typos, misspellings, forgetting underscores, things like that if you try to type it out yourself. So it's always recommended that a copy paste functionality is used. So we've gotten the username text box right. Now we want one for the password and one for the submit button, right? We want a line to interact with each of those. So I basically copied it 3 times. Now the first one is for the username, like we said. The second one will be for the password. The password's right here. The ID is, hold on. Sorry guys. There we go. I want just the ID part. Just the password part, and paste that in there. And then we want the submit button, right, which doesn't have an ID, but it does have a name. So we're going to copy the name of the submit button. We're going to paste it here. And then we're going to make sure we change this from ID to name, because the name is being used to identify it, not the ID. So now we've gotten we have the username text box, the password text box, and now we have the submit button, but we still need to interact with them, right? We still need to type things into them, right? So essentially here we need after finding this element, we need to send keys, and what we wanted to type here is the username, which is Selenium.user. Right, and we need to close the quotation marks, put the parentheses. And then the password that we want here, we also want to send keys, will be, you can see that the entire line is wrong if you have that one thing off. See, everything's fine now, but obviously this means it's not typing anything, so it needs to type the password of. And this password, obviously for the purpose of the video, is just here now. This password is actually constantly changing, so if you were to go in there now, this specific password would probably not work. So now we have send keys, we have the admin, the username being typed in, we have the password being typed in, right? We have the commands telling us to A, find the element, B, do an action afterwards, find the element, do another action afterwards. So now we need to find this third element. What do we do with the submit button? That's right, we click it. So we're going to click as a method command, so it needs the parentheses, and that actually would be all for the login method, right? Once you type in the username, type in the password, hit click, hit submit. That should be all. Verify login succeeded. Now what we're going to do here is something I talked about in the last video that I would mention later, and it's the screenshot option. Now we'll go into more details about this in another video, but essentially I just wanted to make sure that we kind of just talked about it really quickly here. I'm going to type driver dot take screen. Hang on, give me a second. Right. see, I knew I was going to have to call the UI automation helper methods because that's where the screenshot function is, right? So in this case, we'll call it. But if you hadn't already designed it, I mean, it's pretty long, so that's why it's in the UI automation helper methods file. But essentially, after putting that together, you do automation helper methods, take screenshot, and then what you want the file name to be, you want to be login verify. That would be the name of the file name. You can see it says take screenshot, and then you want the string of the file name. So the example here is screen, right? But in this case, we're going to put login verify. Since this is a statement, we need to end it with that semicolon. We can look at this take screenshot function really quickly. Actually, it's in UI animation methods. Control F. Take. Right. So right here, this is the take screenshot method right here. So this basically, okay, so this is a static method, right? It basically has the string file name that's part of the class here. These things aren't really important. I mean, they are, but for the purposes of the video, they're not as much. But basically, we have a variable here called screen, and we want the driver to commit the action of taking your screenshot, right? It's an extension of the WebDriver class. So it says gets a screenshot object representing the image of the page of the screen. So if the file name equals the screen, then change it. So basically, the screenshot action will always by default name the file screen. So most of this function actually is the purpose of it is just to allow you to change the file name to something else. If you understand what I'm saying. So WebDriver has in its own accord the ability to take screenshots. You can see it here as an extension of the screenshot. Creates a screenshot object, but this part here just allows you to assign a name. So it says the file name will now equal the file name plus the date time converted into a string of year, month, date, minute, and second plus .jpeg at the end because it'll turn into a JPEG. I just want to look at that real quick with you guys. I'll probably talk more in detail about it in another video. But now we've verified logging, we've taken our screenshot, right? So this chapter is completely done. So chapter 1's done, we logged in. Chapter 2, done, logged in, verified, right? Now chapter 3, we've got log out. Okay. So let's empty this out right now. And so what's gonna have to happen is we're gonna have to make sure this test case is working manually, right? Which is something we should have done at the beginning, or which you should always do at the beginning. But just for the sake of keeping the videos kind of short, I just kind of dive right into it. But we can do here. So, right. So now it's logged in. Thing is, we're here, but now we need to know how to log out, right? So it would get on this screen, it would take the screenshot, right? Verify that we can log in. And then we would inspect this. We need to inspect the logout link right there. It's a link, so we would use the link text, right, to identify the process of logging out. Now let's, of course, hold on. So it's a link, log out, the link text, which is what we're going to use to identify this says logout, right? All caps. just to make sure it's working. Of course it is, but you always have to double check it works. It'll lock this out. Did what we wanted. So here, all we're going to do is basically tell it to find the link text and click that link, right? So do it with me, guys. Driver find element, or write this down if you're writing in a notebook or something. By now, remember we're using the link text in this case because the logout, it's a link, right? And the link text in this case is log out in all caps, right? And then we're going to click that. Click as a method, so we got to make sure we put the parentheses at the end. Boom, we have constructed our first test. Looks pretty nice, right? Got some code going here. We got chapter 1 done, chapter 2 and chapter 3. It's a pretty simple test. Just test the login screen, make sure that everything is working as it's supposed to. So now what we're going to do to run the test, make sure that it's working, is we're going to build solution. So the build started, you guys can see it down here if you're looking down here. Just give it a second to do this really quickly. It's taking a bit to build solution. There we go. Build started. Build 2 succeeded. Right. So everything's good essentially, and boom! As soon as we finish the build, Visual Studio's recognized that there was a new test here, and so this is our new test. Right. Log into Marshall for video. I got to make sure that, of course, everything is in order. It's going to go to the right base URL. It's going to put the right stuff, let's go back to the file. Okay, so we got this here. I'm gonna run that like test. Right, let's see what happens. Hopefully it runs, hopefully it passes. Of course, right? That's what we want. That's the end goal. It's the dream. It's the dream, guys. The dream is to always get a pass, but realistically it's not that it never happens, but it's not always going to happen. It's not always going to be a pass. Types the username, types the password, logs out. Boom, test passed. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. So our test passed. Everything's good. Everything's nice. Now, to make sure that the test actually did what it was supposed to do, we went by pretty fast. We're gonna go here, test results, I believe. Now the location of the screenshot, it's crazy. It kind of likes to jump around sometimes, so you gotta just kind of look for it in your project files, right? Just gonna jump around here for a second, look for it. Nope. Bin. Nope. Okay. Bin. Right. Okay. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'll find it, and we'll talk more about it later in the video where I talk more about the process of getting the screenshots and things like that. Where we talk more about like a deeper test processes. Right. I don't see it. But thanks for watching, guys. Anything you didn't understand or didn't really see, everything's in the previous videos.